A few years ago, you could buy 2 TB drive without thinking twice. Today, the cost of storage devices have got tripled. I had bought this Samsung 1 TB drive for 10,000 rupees. Today, it is close to 30,000. Not just storage, upcoming iPhones are going to be expensive. Apple has even raised the prices of MacBooks that were already on the market. Gaming consoles, RAM, and graphics cards have also seen some major price increases. But that makes no sense, right? Technology is supposed to become cheaper over time because factories become more efficient, manufacturing gets faster, companies produce millions of devices every year. So why are we paying more instead of less? Most people blame inflation, but that is only one small piece of the puzzle. In this video, I will simplify the story. To understand why this is happening, we need to go back to a time before 2020. Back then, the tech industry was running surprisingly smoothly. Chip manufacturers made processors, factories assembled products, shipping companies transported them around the world, retailers stocked their shelves, everything worked like a well-oiled machine. As production increased, companies became more efficient, and that usually meant lower prices for consumers. Then everything changed. The pandemic happened. Factories shut down, workers stayed home, shipping slowed down. Almost overnight, the entire supply chain started falling apart. At the same time, demand exploded. Millions of people suddenly needed laptops to work from home. Students needed tablets for online classes. People bought webcams, monitors, and gaming consoles because they were spending more time indoors. There were simply more buyers than products. Whenever demand is higher than supply, prices go up. That is exactly what happened. But this was only the beginning. Almost every electronic device depends on semiconductor chips. Smartphone, laptops, gaming consoles, and even modern cars today need semiconductors. The problem is that only a few companies in the world can manufacture the most advanced chips. Building a semiconductor factory costs billions of dollars and takes several years. It is not something companies can build overnight. So while demand kept increasing, chip production simply could not keep up. Phone companies, laptop manufacturers, car makers, and gaming companies were all competing for the same limited supply. That pushed prices even higher. Then another problem appeared. Shipping costs increased dramatically. Products that once cost relatively little to transport suddenly became much more expensive to move across the world. Companies had to pay more just to get products from factories to stores. Those extra costs eventually reached customers. As the world slowly recovered, inflation added another layer of pressure. Electricity became more expensive, raw materials and transportation costs also increased. Running a factory simply became more expensive than it used to be. Companies had two choices: reduce their profits or increase prices. Most companies chose the second option. But there is another reason many people do not talk about. During all these shortages, companies noticed something interesting. Even though gadgets became more expensive, people were still buying them. Maybe not everyone, but enough people did. That changed the way many companies looked at pricing. Once customers accepted paying more for premium products, there was very little reason to reduce those prices later. From a business perspective, it made perfect sense. Then came another major factor: artificial intelligence. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Anthropic, and OpenAI were all buying enormous number of high-performance chips to build AI systems. Many of those chips are manufactured in the same advanced factories that also produced processors for consumer electronics. When those factories are already running at full capacity, manufacturing became more valuable and prices stayed under pressure. There is another reason that often goes unnoticed. Most electronic products are not built in just one country. A smartphone might use a processor designed in the United States, memory chips manufactured in South Korea, a display made in Japan, camera sensors from another supplier, and then everything is assembled somewhere else. Once the product leaves the factory, it still has a long journey ahead. It travels by cargo ships, trains, and trucks before finally reaching warehouses, distributors, and retail stores around the world. Every stage in that journey adds cost. If shipping rates increase, fuel becomes more expensive, the cost of moving that product also increases. And those additional costs usually become part of the final price we pay. Trade policies also play an important role. Over the last few years, we have seen growing trade tensions between some of the world's biggest economies. Countries have introduced tariffs, export restrictions, and new rules on certain technologies, especially semiconductors. That means moving parts or finished products across borders became more expensive. Companies rarely absorb those additional costs themselves. In most cases, those costs are added to the final price of the product. And once again, consumers end up paying more. So, what happens next? Will technology become affordable again? The honest answer is that nobody can say for sure. Supply chains are becoming more stable. Shipping costs have eased compared to their peak. Chip production is gradually catching up with demand. But at the same time, companies are investing heavily in artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and next-generation technologies. Those investments are enormous, and businesses eventually need to recover those costs. There is some good news though. Around the world, governments and technology companies are investing billions of dollars to build new semiconductor factories. The idea is simple: produce more chips, reduce the risk of shortages, and make the global supply chain less dependent on just a few manufacturers. These factories will not solve the problem overnight. Building and bringing them online takes several years. But if more chips become available and supply keeps improving, the industry should become far more stable than it has been over the last few years. And a more stable supply chain is usually the first step toward more stable prices. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you are not. If you have any questions, please drop a comment. I will be happy to answer them. I will see you on the next one. Until next time, take care.